Hello and welcome. This is Alex Glaser with Coldwell Banker Vaughn and Company Realtors, giving you your August Richmond real estate market update. I would first like to just take a quick second and just say thank you to everyone out there who helped me actually be named Richmond's best real estate agent last month in the Richmond Magazine's Best and Worst 2013. I feel very honored and privileged to get that award. And it's only because of all of you great clients and people that know and love working with me. I've loved working with you, and I'm excited about the future. Just being able to provide more and better customer service to everybody. So, getting back to the market update, though, I'd like to start off by looking at what happened last month in July. And as we look at this first slide here, we can see in the month of July, the total active listings was at 4,910, with 1,187 went under contract, new pending sales, and then 1,443 closed. They went under contract sometime in May or June. Market average list price to sales price is 97%, but if we look at the most popular price ranges, the 100 essentially through about the 4 or 500, people are getting a 98 to 99% of their asking price, which is definitely a decent amount higher than if we look back to 2012 and especially 2011. With the market days on market average about 56, it's definitely coming down as things keep getting better. And if we look at what's been going on nationally, we can see in the next slide here that the pending home sales for a little over a whole year have been above the historic healthy level and have been consistently going up. And we can see last month nationally we leveled off, but as a total number of homes pending each month, we're still at a very high level nationally. And if we compare that to year over year here on the next slide, we can see that compared to 2012, we're doing much better and way better than 2011 nationally in terms of amount of homes selling every month. And if we look at Richmond, going back to a more local level, what we have here is just sales trends. We can see what's been happening so far in 2013, what's been happening compared to 2012. And we can see on average, we're a little bit less inventory. We're starting to get closer to that 5,000 level where we were at most of last year. But then looking at terms of the percent selling each month, we did a whole lot more this spring. And last month we did 24% of what was active went under contract. And that's about what 2012 had at its peak in the spring of last year. So comparatively, we're still doing much, much better. And a big part of that is if we look at this next slide here is the amount of foreclosures and short sales, those distressed properties they just continually keep going down, which is great. And then combine that with this next slide here where you see the month's inventory of homes for sale over the last 12 or so months, that's just continually gone down. We're starting to see it creep back up here in the springtime, and we've seen that this is nationally, and if you go back to the Richmond locally, we've seen it go from about 4,200 earlier in the year to about 4,900. So it is slowly creeping up, but the percent selling each month of that active inventory is still very high. And if we just kind of look, so what does all of this mean? Inventory's down, sales are up, and people are saying the real estate market's doing better. Well, if we look at annual appreciation and what is this actually doing to your home's value, and we look at it over a span of many years, we look at the next slide here, we see the pre-bubble, the bubble years, the bust years, and then what's been happening recently, late 2011 to mid 2013, and then what people are expecting in the future. We can see that in the bubble nationally, per year, things were increasing about 8%. And that's definitely too fast. And that's why we saw the bust. It was on average 6%. And of course, this is just an average nationally. Certain marketplace got hit way, way worse than that. And if you look at their recovery, their appreciation is actually a lot higher. So again, this is just an average, and Richmond was very conservative compared to most of the country in terms of what we went up and what we went down. But looking at what's been happening recently, about 5% appreciation per year, and that's what they're expecting nationally. What I've been seeing here, Richmond, we're closer to about 3, maybe 4%, so we're a little under, a little more conservative than the rest of the country. But what's also been making news, what's a lot of people have been talking about, is what interest rates have been doing recently. And on this next slide, we can see all the changes they've made since the very beginning of this year till last month in July. And we can see at the beginning of the year, they were just around a little under 4%, dipped down, almost got to 3.25. But recently, they've been going up, and that's just natural. That's what's going to happen when a real estate market starts to do better. Interest rates start to go up as well. And if we look more recently spread out, we can see that jump really started right around early May, and it's been going up almost ever since. We've been jumping around in the mid to low fours here for a while. And just to kind of put that in perspective, though, that's still an amazing interest rate. On the next slide here, we can see what you would have been paying for a $250,000 mortgage at different points in time. Back in 1983, you would have been paying almost $3,000 for that $250,000 house. 93, it was 1,700. Back in 2003, it was almost 1,500. So now with the interest rates where they are in the mid to low fours, that $250,000 mortgage is only going to run you $1,266. So historically, this is still a phenomenal rate. But let's say, what's going to happen? What are the experts predicting? Fannie Mae, National Association of Realtors, Freddie Mac, the Mortgage Bankers Association are projecting that once we get into 2014, rates are going to be about 5%. So they're projecting them to keep slowly going up as the real estate market keeps doing better. And if we look, well, what exactly does that mean to you and what you can buy? And this next slide here is the mortgage payment differences. And as you can see in each different column, 100 to, let's say, $200,000 house. Right now for about 4.5% there at the bottom, it's $1,013.37 for that payment. But if rates go up 1% to 5.5, your payment's going to be $1,135, which could be very realistic to happen in 2014. So essentially, the longer you wait, and my intention is not to try and rush you to buy a house. You buy a house when you're ready, but just something to keep in mind if you're on the fence and you're trying to decide when. This could be something to keep in mind, that the longer you wait, the higher your payment's going to be if interest rates keep going the way they are. And if we look at the next slide, it's just another way to take a look at how this rise in interest rate affects your payment. And as we can see, let's again, at 5.5%, your payment's going to be about $1,022 for a $180,000 house. But right now at 4.5%, you can have that same payment for a $200,000 house. That's a 10% difference, or $20,000 more house you can have now at the 4.5% rate versus waiting if you do the 4.5%, or excuse me, 5.5%. So I hope you felt this information was a benefit in whatever you're doing with your real estate endeavors. If you have any questions at all, I'd be more than happy to help you out. Just give me a call, shoot me an email. And definitely pass this along to your friends and family, and they're more than welcome to give me a call anytime as well. So again, this is Alex Glaser with Coldwell Banker Vaughn & Company Realtors in Richmond, Virginia. Thank you so much for listening to your August 2013 real estate market update, and I hope you're having a great day. Thanks.